If I were to ask you right now, can you run a 10K? You would probably tell me that you couldn't do it, right? My question to you is, why? Why do you think you couldn't do it? Probably because you don't have any interest in it. And that is fine, because our lifestyle, our education, has a lot to do with how we spontaneously see the world. But if interest wasn't a factor, why do you think you couldn't do it? Why do you think you couldn't run a 10K? You could. Probably not that day, probably not that week, but eventually, a month, 2 months from now, you would and you could. And that is the key factor here. The fear of trying, the fear of perceived failure. Because we, as a society, perceive failure as a negative thing, when in reality, it is what makes us achieve. To try, to fail, to achieve. This is the road to greatness. To embrace fear as a virtue and not as a vulnerability. And this applies to all levels of our life: work, sports, family, friends. So don't be afraid to try. You will fail, but it is also the only way you will conquer. Failure is an essential part of overcoming our fears, and it is so crucial we believe in this, because if we believe our kids can achieve greatness, not only because we know they can, but because we believe in it. And if we believe the education, the values we pass on are enabling a better community, that is success. That means getting up every morning, believing, knowing you are capable of trying, accepting you can overcome failure. Challenge yourself. You were born to achieve. So the next time someone asks you if you can run a 10K, take a deep breath, reply, "You know what? I will."